In a cycle that's become all too familiar in Australian politics, a sitting Prime Minister's tenure is on a knife edge, not due to an election, instead thanks to a challenge by a colleague. 3 years after Malcolm Turnbull rolled Tony Abbott, Peter Dutton is trying to oust Malcolm Turnbull. The Prime Minister survived today's vote, but the numbers were hardly convincing, 48 votes to 35. If just 7 Liberal MPs change their minds, Australia will have its 7th change of Prime Minister in just over a decade. Malcolm Turnbull has bought himself some time today, but how long? Our political editor Andrew Probyn's with us from Parliament House. Andrew, what do you think? How long?
Well, as we go to air, Lee, we have 3 ministers who've tendered their resignations to the Prime Minister, and there is the prospect of more to come. It's been an utterly catastrophic day for Malcolm Turnbull. His leadership is bleeding out, and few in his party believe that he can last the fortnight, if not the week. But for how the day unfolded, his National Affairs correspondent, Greg Jenner.
Armed with an iPad, a deputy and a secret, Malcolm Turnbull led Liberals into the party room. A puppy came too, then a result to set a prime ministerial tail between the legs.
Oh, good morning. The Prime Minister called a ballot. The result of that ballot was Malcolm Turnbull was elected leader of the Liberal Party.
It was a win over Peter Dutton, but also a whipping.
By a margin of 48 votes to 35.
Seizing the moment and sharing his tactic with only a few, Malcolm Turnbull had managed to quantify and magnify the threat to his leadership.
Mortally wounded, Prime Minister.
And to corral the 35, including ministers, into a loose and possibly lethal alliance against him. It started as a movement of one.
There's a party room today, so nothing to say here.
But then drew disparate groups into the Dutton defection. Senate backbenchers Jim Molan and Abetz as Conservative flag bearers, the moderate Sussan from New South Wales, and former policeman Jason Wood joined the Blue Line, and Queenslanders, spooked by the Longman by-election, freely closed ranks. Stuart, Andrew Wallace and new Senator Amanda Stoker among them. Liberals have noted the silence of Cabinet's Conservative kingpin Matthias Cormann throughout, torn between being the Prime Minister's protector and a friend of Peter Dutton's. And if the challenger had one, colleagues are convinced Greg Hunt would have fallen in behind him.
If other ministers voted for Peter Dutton this morning, should they follow him and resign?
Look, it's a secret ballot.
There's now no secret of Peter Dutton's ambition.
He said to me that he doesn't feel he can remain in the Cabinet, having challenged me for the leadership of the party, and so he is resigning.
Gone to polish a new political persona.
It's nice to be in front of the cameras where I can smile and maybe show a different side, not here talking to you about border protection matters.
Parliament's latest backbenchers got a softer side.
I harboured no animosity toward Malcolm Turnbull.
And an evasive one when confronted with the unanswered question of the day.
Can you guarantee that you will not launch a leadership challenge before the next election?
Well, look, again, just in terms of colleagues, I'm very grateful for the support that they've provided. I'm very grateful for the encouragement that they've given me.
You get between me and Mark.
And the encouragement for him's coming in waves. Victorian frontbencher Michael Sussan's led what's fast becoming a ministerial charge towards the Dutton defection with offers of resignation.
There you go.
Thank you.
From here, it's a battle of wills, confidence and numbers. What couldn't be done in one clean strike on Malcolm Turnbull now risks being done in 2 or more if necessary by a determined group of campaigners who've marshalled an astounding 35 votes in only a week. And if Malcolm Turnbull alone can't resist them, some Liberal moderates are wondering out loud about a possible compromise candidate. Scott Morrison and Julie Bishop are mentioned among them.
The Prime Minister's weakness is infectious.
Something will have to give if more days like this are to be avoided.
It is a narcissistic government consumed with their own jobs and their own struggles.
For now, the government's numbers are holding up to fend off Labor motions of no confidence. But all the while, its leaders, past, current and future, are taking a battering.
This is a Frankenstein's monster of a government. It has the face of the member for Wentworth, it has the policies of the member for Warringah, and it has the cold, shrivelled soul of the member for Dixon. Frankenstein's monster of a government.
National Affairs correspondent Greg Jennett there. One of the factors in this leadership spill was the government's dismal result at the recent Super Saturday by-elections, in particular the Queensland seat of Longman. There was a 3.7% swing against the Liberal National Party. As we know, the government holds the slimmest of majorities, just one seat in the House of Representatives. If that Longman swing were replicated at a general election, 19 seats would be at risk, 7 of them in Queensland. One of them belongs to Peter Dutton himself. His seat of Dixon is on a 2% margin.